paradigm where the United States, and actually they came out this morning and said, the president as well as the Pentagon saying we really don't have a plan for this all, yet. We're working on how we're going to be able to work with Turkey. But what we saw Turkey do was bomb the Kurds in northern Syria, the Kurds in northern Iraq, and then the Kurds in the northern part of their country. They said they want to get rid of ISIS, but they want to get rid of Assad, and they want to get rid of the Kurds. So the U.S. has said, great, we can use your base, but what they're doing is they're killing Kurds, the U.S. will be killing ISIS, and you've got a big, big disaster.
Right, and so you have to ask the question, and it's a big one. I think I know the answer. Why would Turkey do this? Why would it attack, the so-called good guys? Of course, there's probably hundreds, maybe thousands of years of history involved here. I realize that, but also you have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
And Turkey wants to branch out beyond its borders. I think that's what's happening here.
Well, this has Erdogan, President Erdogan's, fingerprints all over this. He is looking at this situation and saying, okay, I'm losing power, I'm losing relevance, and what better way than to coalesce a country around war? It's been done for years by other countries as well as the United States. It brings a country together, and I think he's looking to remain relevant in a situation where he just had a landslide vote against him, and the fact that he's going to most likely be out of power here in a few years, that really concerns him. On top of that, as we've discussed here on the Ledger Show, Erdogan really wanted to be the caliph himself, so he's really not all that friendly with ISIS, but he also doesn't like Assad. So they're sitting in a situation where they're, in fact, from the people I've talked to from Turkey, they're using the U.S., and they're going to be using U.S. arsenal and whatnot to get rid of the Kurds.
And part of the big picture here is an amazing coalition here, if you think about it, because you have these Islamic State, and you have some elements within Syria, you have Turkey, you have other elements of radical Islam. They all, including the United States, want to get rid of Bashar al-Assad. Bashar al-Assad is not a nice guy. We know this. But he is, wouldn't you agree, a stabilizing force in the region, certainly in that country, and, oh, by the way, also protects religions that are not Muslim in his country?
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, the country of Syria was a secular country, and if you ask anybody that's still left in Syria, would you prefer to go back to the days before Obama was in office and where you guys actually had shopping malls and McDonald's, you guys could go out and eat, go to college, they're very educated, or would you rather prefer get rid of Assad and stay in this middle of a huge civil war in which 4 million refugees now have fled the borders to either Turkey, or the most of them now we know are in Jordan, and they're really, really hurting these other nations that are having to set up refugee camps. So it just ponders, and just you can't even imagine why we're doing this. It was a secular country.
Okay, so not far away, I want to shift gears real quick here, almost out of time, but I want to shift gears. Not far away in Israel, the United States is apparently going to release a spy to Israel. Now, clearly, this is some sort of appeasement for the Iran deal, correct?
Yes, it is. They're releasing Jonathan Pollard. He's a convicted traitor of this country. He received a life sentence in the court system. Then after the Iranian deal was announced, the Israelis were very upset. They've been trying to get Pollard out for years. Now that they've got their chance, we've given Israel an additional $3 billion in weapons to kind of quiet them down about this. But Jonathan Pollard cost this country millions, actually hundreds of billions of dollars. We had to retool our state-of-the-art weapons, and